set. Gates fly, and they sent on their way. Nespresso was the first one to respond. Bajan Fantasy Work Ethic tries to overcome the deepest draw and goes and races handy. Up there too is Laurel Cherry, the yellow sleeves and cap. Nespresso, after an alert start, has dropped into about 4th position and 2 lengths off the leader. Capricious is midfield. Then comes Nurse Harriet racing one off the rail, the orange sleeves and the black cap. Further back to Truly Evelyn. Under Fire and Rich and Dark, they the back two as they took the corner turn. 1100 metres left to go. Bajan Fantasy is the leader and has the call by a length. Work Ethic is racing away in second in the orange and black colours, one off the rail. Then came Laurel Cherry. Nespresso directly behind Work Ethic and around 2 lengths behind the leader. Then further back to Capricious. Nurse Harriet races away in 6th position and 4 lengths from the front. Truly Evelyn, Rich and Dark, and at the back of the field is Under Fire as they went past the 800 metres board. Bajan Fantasy is the leader, those white blinkers. Second place is still Work Ethic. Then comes Laurel Cherry, who races along the rail in third. Nespresso is in the black jacket and the red cap. That's racing about 3 lengths off the leader. Capricious is in 5th. Then came Nurse Harriet. Further back to Truly Evelyn as they came homeward bound. They have 450 metres left to go. Bajan Fantasy is the leader. Work Ethic is half a length away in second. Then 2 lengths back to Laurel Cherry. Further back in the field to Nurse Harriet as they get to the final 350 metres. Bajan Fantasy clings on to the lead. Work Ethic is boxing on its outside. Then a couple of lengths away to Laurel Cherry, further back then to Nurse Harriet, but Bajan Fantasy's kicked away over the final 100 metres, and Bajan Fantasy goes on to win it. Second place will be close. Laurel Cherry is going to run second, just ahead of Work Ethic and Rich and Dark. Six Bajan Fantasy kicked away over the final 200 metres and left its challengers without much hope. Gary Alexander continues his great run of form, as does Andrew Fortune. The blinkers on for the first time. She went to the front, and that was probably the key to this race. Bajan Fantasy is the winner by a good couple of lengths. Second goes to number 7, Laurel Cherry. Then came Work Ethic, who crosses the line in third. Fourth went to Rich and Dark. Nurse Harriet was further back. Truly Evelyn, Capricious, they were next across the line. Nespresso didn't quicken, and then came Under Fire. Here on replay, it's Bajan Fantasy. The colours of Mr. Urendal, bred by the Summerhill stud. This daughter of Mullins Bay gets out the maidens at the third time of asking, improving all the while. And she'll see off all her challenges over the closing stage. She kicks about now with about 150 left to go. And that was pretty much that in race number 3 today.
Gary Alexander absolutely on fire. Bajan Fantasy number 6 comes through, the daughter of Mullins Bay, to win at the third time of asking. And that was a nice run there from Andrew Fortune. Blinkers on. Kept a decent field at bay here. Number 7, Laurel Cherry, the very well-bred daughter of Ideal World, finishes back in second. And Norman Ferraris did say looking for further still, but he was expecting improvement. Nice ride there from Waichong Mawing. Third to the 1, Work Ethic.
Here is number 6, Bajan Fantasy, a 3-year-old filly by Mullins Bay, out of Ransom by Rambo Dancer. She was bred by the Summerhill stud Pty Limited. Winning owner is Mr. H.B. Urendal. Gary Alexander can do no wrong at the moment. Well done to Gary and the rest of the team, to Dean and to everyone else who has a hand in proceedings at Gary Alexander Racing Stables. And Andrew Fortune, touch of magic once more from the Candyman, and Bajan Fantasy is the winner of the first leg of the place accumulator. 6, 7, 1 and 9 is the provisional result. Race 4 will be up next, and post time is 2:15.
Number 6, Bajan Fantasy, comes through to give Gary Alexander a quick double at Turffontein this afternoon. Well done to jockey Andrew Fortune, an enterprising ride. Taking her to the front, you allowed her to roll up there, and she responded well. I was watching you riding in Port Elizabeth yesterday, and I think the last 2 meetings you've had very unlucky seconds, because it was almost like you were winner all the way except on the line. But I'm glad this has come home for you, Andrew, and it's broken it a little bit.
Yeah, Jules, the worst is that you've got to get on a flight for an hour and a half afterwards, criticizing yourself what you done wrong in the race, you know. So yeah, thank God that is. Listen to me, one thing I believe is that God's got a sense of humor. You know what I mean? Every now and then he tests mine. But back to this filly, Jules, I thought I should have done this last time on her. You know, she very immature, very leggy still. And I said to Gary afterwards, I mean, we're flabbergasted she got beat. I mean, her work was just unbeatable. And today she kind of brought it and put our faith back into her again. She always, her work at home is just very, very good. And she hasn't quite matured and brought that work to races yet. But this is a good start.
Well, let's hope she continues. Maybe the blinkers also helped her concentrate a little bit better today, just helped you assist her, or give you a bit of assistance earlier on in the race?
It did to a certain degree, Jules. It made her a little bit dumber as well. At the same time, she wanted to look what's behind her all the time. But when I turned for home and I could hear they could come up to me, she quickened immediately. So she was like, it gave her a little bit of a fear of that as well. So listen to me, I'm just glad she won. And to my sponsor, Odyssey Steel, thank you.
Well done to Andrew Fortune. Gary, a nice double on the day, and especially for Hilton to see those colours back in the winner's enclosure. At least she's come through today and shown that she's still got the ability. She hasn't left you gobsmacked again after this performance.
Yes, Julie, she's always shown us she can run, you know, and she's put it together today, and we can only thank God because he's behind us.
Coming back to this filly, I think she will go on from here, and still very immature. What do you think her best distance will be?
Julie, at this stage, I wouldn't take her more than a mile. I think she will get a bit further when she's a bit stronger and more mature. But when horse wins over the trip, you leave them over that trip. You know, I've learned from the old school. But good luck to Hilton and his family. It's nice for him to have another winner for us. And Andrew, what a ride.
Absolutely. Just before you run off, I know you've got 3 runners coming up in the last race. It looks to be an open contest. I know a couple of your horses are drawn a little bit wide. But of the 3, what would you be leaning towards?
Julie, I think Matsuri's working very nice, but the trouble is the mile may be a touch short for her. But if she runs in the first 3, we'll be over the moon. Gypsy Myth definitely going to be running on. This track's a little bit, you've got to be a little bit handy. So if she can overcome that draw and get into a little spot, she could be dangerous. And of course, Jumpstart, you can never neglect her. If she puts it in on her day, she's always a big runner.
Congratulations, well done.
Thanks, Julie.
Well done to Gary Alexander. Hilton Odendaal back in the winner's enclosure. Nice to have you here. This is where you want to be. And especially with this filly, because she's been consistent coming into this race. But it's nice for her to eventually get that win as you wanted.
Yes, thanks, Jules. There's a story behind this horse. Couldn't sell it the first sale. Went back to Summerhill in February. Couldn't sell there either. And 2 days later, Gary actually said to me, phone Mick and make him an offer. So just proves a point, you know. The horses don't know their price.
Absolutely, and it's nice to hear Andrew saying that she works so well back at home. She's just a big baby still. She's all lost, and that she will go on from here. So you could have a bit of fun with her.
I hope so. I think we're going to.
Hopes. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done to Hilton Odendaal, his family on course today as the 6 Bajan Fantasy comes through. The 3-year-old daughter of Mullins Bay, her 3rd time of asking to get her maiden under jockey Andrew Fortune, going from start to finish. Bred by Mick Goss and his team at Summerhill Stud, and of course beating home the very well bred number 7 Laurel Cherry. I think a good performance on this inside track by the daughter of Ideal World under jockey Wai Shong Muing, and she could be one for the notebook coming up later on in her career.